Despite the risk of Italy dying thanks to the forgery, the nations get held up by a butterfly that gives them water and food, because reasons.
No trespassers allowed.
I would like to believe this is Rev or one of the Arcanas being threatening, but I don't. I'm more concerned by the fact that Rev is f***ing about with them rather than killing and or torturing them right now. Also, considering there is no indication of when this was painted, the paint here wouldn't be setting properly because of the cold weather, let alone crumble into shards.
Come play with us.
First, a Nightmare on Elm Street, and now Rudolph and The Shining? F*** off, dude.
Not that much, see? We can still see enough to know where we're going.
Where the hell did they get this light from? I thought we established about thinking of weapons to equip them while in the dream, and I'm pretty sure Appleborn didn't have a torch or anything. Point is, none of them had a torch in their inventory, so where the f*** did they get this light from? You better watch out, you better not cry, the song in the game is trolling me right now.
Hey, there's a lock right here under the garbage. Why don't you push it aside? I'm not putting my hand in there, no thanks.
You have gloves, France?
Uh-oh. No trespassers allowed. No trespassers allowed! No trespassers allowed!
Ladies and gentlemen, here are the rejected toys that never appeared in the Toy Story franchise. These toy battlers unintentionally inspired the plot for Toy Story 4. Lights get turned back on to reveal the enemy for next battle cliche. Also, how the f*** did he get to the factory first before the others did?
What makes you think it wouldn't be that hard for us to kill a pawn?
A what?
A pawn! So just being used and easily disposable. That's what you are!
Though this is harsh, I agree with England in this matter.
Yeah, you guys, lay off. He's just trying to do his job.
Well, he's not doing a very good job, is he? Someone's watched Nightmare Before Christmas too many times.
Christmas is the time of year of goodwill and cheer, of being with family and giving presents. But this only happens once a year for good reason. To balance out the rest of the year of heartbreak, sadness, anger, and everything else.
This logic applies to almost everything else, including birthdays, unless you celebrate your own birthday for those 364 days.
That's one down that we freed. Who knows how many more are out there?
So Rev didn't think that Austria and Canada were enough? He might as well have trapped all of them so that he wouldn't have had this issue. Remember, England knew about this creature and its abilities. Rev has dug his own grave with this shitty plan of his.
Where on earth did he come from?
China pretty much asks the same question I have for all of the times that Rev appears in this game.
What? It's him!
How do you all hear?
What, are you saying you didn't know the nations were in the dream world up until now? That's bullshit. This was saying that world was lying about the whole getting rid of intruders situation earlier on. Who the f*** did you think the intruders were when you said world out to do your dirty work? None of the nations seem to pick up Finland and get the f*** out right now!
No!
Finland unintentionally reenacts the infamous scene from Revenge of the Sith. America once again acts as peacemaker to break up the fight between England and Germany. America survives this.
What in the... There's no water!
How does that work?
I'm with China on this one. Even I would know that ice formed without water is physically impossible, even in the dream world.
Ew! You guys need to come down here!
You better come look at this cliche. How is it that the ice breaks underneath America, but when Russia and Germany go on it, allows them to move without giving way underneath? Lone character gets left behind and gets separated cliche. Holy shit! Why didn't the other nations land in the same area as America? They all went down the same hole!
How is this even possible?
Well, it is a dream after all. Anything is possible.
Except for flying, apparently. These enchanted ornaments are not dancing to be our guest right now.
It's getting all Beauty and the Beast up in here!
No America, but thank you for repeating what we already figured out. A classic plot cliche where a story is told in picture format to not only highlight the code to the main door, but to also show the parallels to Canada's life of being invisible. Considering he was in a coma for less than 2 hours, that was quick!
It's just the story on the paintings. I feel like it means something to me.
Of course it means something to you. It's about your brother, you asshat! What's with American falling through
Ugh! Ah! Son of a... Sounds like a long way down.
Well, remember, we did have to climb up 4 flights of stairs to get here.
Russia would be great at cinema sins. How the hell is America still standing right now? That tumble could have broken or fractured a few bones. There's no way America would be standing without any injuries or bruises.
This is so much fun.
Considering the length and twisting tunnels this huge cave has, and the fact that Canada is mostly soft and quiet in tone, there's no way America could hear Canada this far away from its location. Game never establishes how America managed to navigate his way to the location without any form of light. Devil lets America pass without checking if the fake America was already inside. How come Temperate is the only Arcana that gets to make Canada young again? We do get to see another Arcana that looks older later on, but only Canada is young as Temperance. Was Canada more noticed when he was younger?
He's real. That must be the creature with him.
I wonder what gave it away. The glowing turquoise eyes? Shame Rev couldn't change them to sky blue so it would fool them all. Wah, wah, wah.
His name is not Temperance! It's Canada!
Shame on you, America, for acting all worried about your sibling, but you can't even say his name correctly.
I'm sorry for not being there like the brother I'm supposed to be. I didn't even realize how important you were to me until there was a chance I could lose you.
Aww. Oh yeah, remember the tremor that occurs when a nation is freed from their arcana forms? Yeah, it's back and it's angry. Now we know what Rev meant when he said he had business to take care of.
The stairs back up to the castle were destroyed by debris. There's no way out.
Thanks a lot, Devil. You pretty much led us to a dead end. On another note, why couldn't England teleport them out? He technically already set foot in the areas outside of the castle and within the cave, even with the crumbling debris. That way he could have saved this "oh no, it's the end" moment and get everyone out of there! Japan shits his pants at this moment in time.
I'm so glad you're safe, friend. I was so scared you would have been crushed.
Where the f*** were you during the destruction of the kingdom then? You definitely weren't finishing Devil off. What kept you from rescuing Temperance? You're one really terrible friend.
He didn't do a very good job of protecting my friends, so he had to pay. I just wish I had more time to finish him off.
Again, I retaliate. What the f*** kept you? I don't like asking twice. England gets knocked down quicker than a bowling pin after a strike. Oh, if only England didn't create the restricted circle in that room before coming here, so Prussia wouldn't be able to prank him by laying him on top of that and humiliating him. Mondays, am I right?
Is my soul trapped in here?
Oh my god! Free him! No one touches the cod.
Sounds like Japan saw the Emperor's New Groove. Hold on, I thought the kingdom and the surrounding area got destroyed after freeing Canada, so how is China still trapped underneath? Considering the force of that tremor, China should be dead by now. Game indicates that this is Rev in disguise, so he can change his eye colour, but why didn't he fucking do that earlier?
There you all are! I thought I'd never see you guys again.
Once again, the game is hinting that this is not the real China, though I am even more annoyed that Rev didn't think to hide his eye colour sooner so he could have fooled them easier. What kind of dream reaper is this?
You're not going to have sex with dream girls, are you?
God help Prussia and the others if this were to happen. This could be the start of a beautiful friendship. Don't be surprised if America gains a good 5 kilograms out of this dream adventure.
How do you live with this?
All too much patience, tea, and headache medicine.
Thank God we only need ibuprofen or paracetamol for our headaches today. I did have to look up what sort of headache medicines that England may have taken in the 1800s. Sometimes it's best not to know. Oh hey, fancy seeing you here for a brief second world.
I'm glad everyone deserted me into caves and left me for dead.
Good thing that the hanging man mentions that he was left behind in the cave, so it lets Japan know that this is the real China chapters and Arcana. Otherwise it could have been the ridiculous amount of opium he's smoking that gave it away. Russia survives this. Rev apparently was able to stab Russia, send the real China into the building, and swap places with them in less than 5 minutes.
Master has taken away my family. He's the only one I have left.
Wait, was Herman not related to you despite China raising Japan as family in real life?
And what are these others' names?
No idea, actually. When Master fused my brother and your friend together, they disappeared.
The only reason that these characters exist is for Rev to kill them off later on to traumatize Japan/Hermit. Also, what's with the story of the family members being killed by the Master prior to this? Wouldn't this mean Moon is confused about their presence despite their murders taking place earlier? I'm beyond confused. Kinda disappointed that England didn't think to do what Germany does here, considering he owns a book called Alice in Wonderland. What a dumbass. This is a reenactment of the Path of God scene from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Pull me up! Pull me up!
You're too heavy! Guess you're just a regular fat ass yourself, mate!
Joke's on you, England, as muscle is heavier than fat, so no, Germany's not a fat ass. He's just a muscular hulk of a man. Even with a good number of pillows, they fell 10 stories to the ground without any broken bones or sprains. It's a nice thought, but bullshit at the same time. Considering the fact that they thought they died during the fall, these two are able to laugh it off as if it were nothing. The hanging man has smoked a ton of opium, and yet neither England nor Germany are affected by this smoke.
Wait a tick. Something smells off.
No Sherlock, you and China had a huge war over this, remember? Fucking hell, Russia! You were able to go up the walls, walk over the pit floor, and fall 10 stories onto cushions, and yet still be standing with your life-threatening injury. Also, how did Russia know that Rev and China would be here? Given the injury he sustained from the stab, not to mention it was close to his heart, he didn't have time to search the grounds before coming here.
Loving family gave him this. So he is going to love his present or else his family won't love him anymore.
Oh, Rev, why bother slipping out the fact that his family wouldn't love him anymore when your job was to protect him? You can't blame the nations on your poor job performance there. Oh, now Russia collapses from this.
Oh my god.
Why are the nations standing about until the minute they hear the scream to get away from the place? This is quite a gruesome scene, but I'm more concerned about how Rev was able to spend time with the hangman and commit this murder without anyone noticing shit. There were bloodstains on the paper windows, and America, Canada, and France were still outside here at the time that England and Germany were rescuing China. How the f did they not suspect anything in this tea house? And here's a quick reminder of your main objective of Dreamtalia. Wow, Germany must have found some good cleaning shit to get the blood out of the carpets quickly. This is a series of pictures which show what happened when, based on the sprites alone, we pretty much already know how they died. Also, why is Japan the only nation out of the group getting tortured mentally? Canada and China were originally Arcanas before they were set free, but Japan wasn't. What would Rev get out of torturing Japan/Hermit? Germany's tug is called forth to advance the plot. Germany survives this. Japan survives this. It's hilarious they are all angry at America when England with all the perils could have come up with something. Yes, he said he couldn't teleport them down, but there is a spell for levitating people down.
Prussia! Gah! What are you doing here?
How did he get here would be the better question.
England would be great at cinema sins. And here is the second time that England gets bowled over by a nation. It's just not one of his days, is it?
I do still have the power to make maple snowballs, though. Here.
No way! You're yanking my chin!
And this is how Pookan became a thing. Thanks for giving us this innuendo that I will never be able to get out of my head.
I am the rise of the Wheel of Fortune, the 10th Arcana. This will be your first test of your judgment. You may not pass until you've proven yourself worthy.
I don't get the purpose of this judgment test bullshit. Is Rev purposely sending these Arcanas to see if they can save Italy, or is it just to troll them? After defeating him, this asshole just walks away!
But whoever rules here looks like they want a lot of protection.
Oh, Rev did some redecorating to keep us out.
Rev clearly had too much time on his hands. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the only Arcana winning to help you out later on in this game. Third time's a bad luck for England.
We're known as Arcana, from the tarot cards known in your world. Oh, that's why your name sounded so familiar. You're based on tarot cards!
I thought this game already established that! This scene unintentionally foreshadows what happens to Japan near the end of this realm sequence. Rev is a dick to all the Arcana so far. What the fuck was his purpose of doing this? Emperor of the 4th Arcana seems to be acting like the guardian to Empress, but if that were the case, then what was the point of Tower's Arcana aside from controlling the bridge earlier?
Why are you photoing us?
Because you resemble Hermit, not to mention he passed on his powers and possibly his memories to you.
He had murdered your family and killed one of your friends. He has taken away something that is most precious to you.
This is pretty much hinting that fate is going to be cruel to justice to upset Hermit/Japan. Also, doesn't this feel like the story is more focused on the tragedy of the murders prior to Italy falling victim to this more than saving Italy himself?
I am the Empress! The 3rd Arcana, ruler of the Castle of Light! That's not Austria!
F***ing seriously? Why bother throwing in this wrench if it doesn't serve much purpose for the plot at all?
I am a lucid dreamer, after all. This means I'm usually self-aware of my surroundings in my dreams. That I know I can control them and that it isn't real. He went in willingly. So he didn't need the Arcana.
This pretty much trolls us by telling us the fight against Emperance was pointless. Rev decides to spare Japan despite the fact that he could take him down easily. I don't know if Rev is just toying with the Arcanas or if he's being an asshole to them. All he's been doing is leaving them for dead and or murdering them for no valid reason aside from torturing Japan. Also, this is the classic sacrifice to save friend cliche. This moment was inspired by the infamous falling out of the window scene from Cowboy Bebop. Though it is cool to see the Bad Touch trio unite, it seems that both Prussia and Spain came into the dream world as the plot calls them to because the next few Arcanas are in relation to them in one way or another.
Ha! I was right! Praise me!
How do you live with this?
Same way you do with America.
Touché.
Instead of tea, Germany drinks a ton of beer.
This will be your second test of your judgment.
Skip! These are supposedly the graves of the first 4 Arcanas that died earlier on, but the rest of the Arcanas turned into their butterfly forms later, so I'm not sure why there would be graves of the defeated/dead Arcanas here when the others die later and become butterflies anyway.
I just want to bet them. Today. Fact!
The Fall created all the realms. The Lord simply helped form the terrain according to the Joker's wishes.
This would mean that the snow realms that England thought was in Italy's actually was. This gets even more confusing if that realm was never Finland's or Canada's to begin with. What the fuck?
Despite being a very powerful creature, he's fragile at heart. He depends upon the happiness of his friends and has a crippling fear of the dark.
Crippling fear of the dark?
Why would Rev be afraid of the dark? This would mean that he could only target victims that sleep during the day, and also avoid looking at himself in the mirror at every chance he gets. Also, this pretty much defeats the aspect of him being scary and covered in shadows if he's deadly afraid of them. I don't care that he can't see them on himself. It's still weird that his scariest trait is also his weakness. As everyone leaves, Spain asks England to stay behind for a chat cliche.
The bear-touched trio were able to sneak by without Sun noticing shit. No wonder Rev kills them.
Oh, that's why Spain needed to talk to England. Also, with England being able to cast this one-time spell on Spain's blade, why didn't he think of doing that earlier?
I just want you to love me. I'm not a monster.
This is supposed to be a moment where you feel sorry for her, but after tricking a few nations, killing our Carlins, kidnapping Justice, and torturing Japan, I don't feel anything with this motherfucker at all. Once again, they hear the scream, but don't get the f out right now. Though this is a heroic move on Sun's part, this is the second character sacrifices himself cliche.
Maybe we should head west. Yes, I'm feeling a tug in that direction.
As the plot calls for it, Germany believes in third time's the charm. I bet he can't wait for it after Italy is rescued and wakes up.
This some godly shit, dog!
Sean, you're not helping.